Well, first up this morning, the do's and don'ts of staying in a hotel. And who better to give us the inside scoop than the Travel Channel's host of Hotel Impossible? Anthony Melchiorri joins us now live. He is part psychologist, part motivational speaker, part businessman. He is also called the so-called hotel fixer. Good morning to you.
Hi, Molly. You guys are having a good time about hotels this morning, huh?
Yeah, are we on target? I mean, what do you think about the fact that I never walk around barefoot?
Well, I never walk around barefoot either. But I want to talk to your last guest about staying in hotels that have 6 people in the bed. I want to know, he's not staying in my hotels.
We'll let him know. I was surprised he let that one slip, but he's like, yeah, and takes the towels apparently.
Oh, yeah, apparently we're going to send somebody to his house today.
Yeah, okay, I'll let him know. I'll give him a heads up. Well, you know, I think it's interesting, Anthony, because you use hidden cameras and gadgets and technology to test, evaluate, and measure all these different aspects of a hotel. My co-host is not a germaphobe. I'm kind of like medium on the germaphobe scale. Where are you?
Well, it's so funny. Your co-host was, I heard that she rolls around the floor and she's not a germaphobe at all. And, well, you know, one of the things you have to realize, okay, is before you were in the room, somebody else was in the room. And if a housekeeper's having a bad day, a lot of stuff could be left all around the room. So I'm not a germaphobe. I'm just careful. I really am not a germaphobe. I've been on, you know, I've traveled hundreds of thousands of miles in the last couple of years. I've been in 50 hotels probably in the last 6 months. So if I was a germaphobe, I couldn't walk out of my home. However, what you want to do is you want to do spot cleaning. When you go into a hotel room, you know, it takes you 5 seconds to spot clean. You look at the desk, maybe you do some Lysol, you clean the desk, you clean the doorknobs, you see if there's any dirty grout, and then you just go about your business. You pull down the sheets when you go into bed, make sure there's nothing in the sheets that looks a little weird, and then you go about your business. A lot of people, if you stay at a 5-star hotel, it looks clean, but it doesn't mean it's always clean. When you go into a 3-star hotel, a 2-star hotel, sometimes you don't have to do a lot of inspecting. You just have to open up the door.
Some of these dusty shelves that you found are just gross.
Just gross.
I love the way you go about it too. You kind of manhandle the pillows and the everything, and you kind of get an inside look, which is great. You also say do demand free internet and water, and I've been to hotels where internet is not free, and I like that you say you should demand that.
Yeah, you know, it's ridiculous. You know, people see me as the clean guy. I go in and I throw over beds and I look at pillows. I'm a businessman. I am not just a guy that goes around and checks for dirty linen and bed bugs. I'm a businessman. And what do you do? How do you run a business? You have to take care of people. And today, the #1 guest want in corporate hotels in America is free water and free internet. So why branded hotels to this day some branded hotels are still charging for water and internet is beyond me.
I think that's really interesting. Another thing that you say is use the latch and the double bolt always, and also separate your key from the key packet. Why?
Well, for a number of reasons. One, sometimes, you know, with electronic keys, a guest or an employee at the front desk makes a mistake and gives the wrong key out and makes the key for the wrong number, and the guest goes to your room and he opens up the door. If you have the double bolt on, they won't walk in. #1. When you separate the key from the key packet, if you're in a bar in a restaurant and it's late at night and you had a couple of drinks and you leave your key packet, well, if you have your key in your pocket, the person that has the key packet won't be able to get in your room. So you never want to put the room number next to your room key, because you don't, if you leave it behind, you don't want somebody to come into your room.
That's a good point. I'm going to read through a few of the things that you say hotels will never tell you. You might get a lower rate if you call. You can get an upgrade just by arriving early. Freebies are negotiable. We were talking about water and internet. More stars do not guarantee better service. You pay for location and the name, and you can always get children's portions, which I think is interesting. And lastly, you probably have a rotating staff of housekeepers, so you say tip the staff every day.
Oh, absolutely. You know, because a housekeeper works very, very hard, and if that housekeeper happens to be off on the last day, and you give a big tip to her because she cleaned your room all week, then that housekeeper that only cleaned it for one day gets her tip. But the #1 most important tip that you just mentioned, back in the day, 10 years ago, AAA ratings are still important today, But a 4-star rating from AAA is important. A 4-star rating from a lot of these rating systems are important. But what's the most important rating? It's the rating online, the rating from other review sites online, whether it be TripAdvisor, whether it be Expedia. Wherever people are writing reviews, those are the most important reviews. Would you stay at a hotel that's rated 2 stars by guest, but rated 4 stars by AAA? The answer is no. No one's staying in a 2-star hotel that's rated 4-star by AAA. So the rating system today has changed. It's really been put into the guest hands. We are really in control of our own destiny. Just look online, look at the good reviews. You get what you pay for. If you're going for a cheaper rate and it says bad reviews, you're going to get what you pay for.
That's awesome information, Anthony. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you're starting season number 3 that premieres Monday, August 12th on the Travel Channel. It's Hotel Impossible, and again, premieres Monday, August 12th.